Welcome guys, it's your boy Honorable Goodluck, and today we'll be talking about who General Sani Abacha is. What would have happened to Nigeria if he was still alive? What would have happened to Nigerians if he was still alive? A lot of Gen Zs are watching this video currently and they're like, who is General Sani Abacha? But General Sani Abacha was a past military head of state in Nigeria. A lot of people refer to him as a dictator. A lot of people refer to him as a lion which you must be scared of. But who exactly is General Sani Abacha?
Sequel to the resignation of the former head of the interim national government and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Chief Ernest Shonekang, and my subsequent appointment as head of state and Commander-in-Chief, I have had extensive consultation within the Armed Forces hierarchy and other well-meaning Nigerians in a bid to find solutions to the various political, economic.
Here are the iconic things associated with General Sani Abacha. Dictatorship. He dissolved all democratic institutions and he ruled a military regime. The power wasn't decentralized, it was centralized. He jailed journalists, he banned newspaper companies, and he silenced oppositions. He ordered the execution of Ken Saro-Wiwa in the year 1995. He refused to announce MKO Abiola as democratic elected president. There were a lot of sanctions from the United States, the United Kingdom, the European Union, and also Commonwealth. Well, these are some of the notable things General Sani Abacha did during his tenure. Abacha's Nigeria was a security state. He centralized power. He eliminated dissent and he used wealth to secure loyalty. Without his death, this regime would likely have had end. When Abacha died, there were a lot of rumors spreading and a lot of people said he ate this, he died. I think when I was very young, I heard rumors like Abacha ate apple and he died. Some people said it was prostitutes that poisoned him. Other people said it was different things.
Biblically, who is the first person to eat apple? Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Abacha. Abacha.
Abacha. All right, thank you so much.
The official news about his death was that he had an heart attack while hosting presidential guests as the presidential villa. But let's talk about the rumors, let's talk about the conspiracy theories, let's talk about things people felt was the cause of his death. Number one, said Abacha ate apple by an Indian woman.
An Indian lady gave General Sani Abacha apple.
Well, let's just say Indian woman, sorry, Indian prostitute. Well, some other people said he died as a result of military coup. That was what was reigning then. So some people said he died as a result of military coup. That some military personnel secretly killed him. Well, while some other people said it was spiritual intervention. These were rumors, these were myths. It wasn't proven scientifically or it wasn't proven legally. But the official news, or the official story about his death was he died as a result of heart attack while hosting some guests at the presidential villa. Now, the mystery of his death fuels the idea that powerful interests were ready to remove him to save Nigeria from international collapse or international war. Now, let's go to the business of the day. What if Abacha didn't die? What would have happened? The first thing that would have happened is that there would be power tussle between the military. There would be power tussle between the military, and this would cause more harm to Nigeria in the sense that how did How was power being rotated then during the military era? It was basically through coup. They do coup d'etat and they eliminate the incumbent head of state for them to take over. And that was how it has been happening. This is a sign, or this is a means of showing who is more powerful, who has more power, who has more influence politically or in terms of military power. Abacha's survival might still end in a violent international from within the military, especially if oil revenue collapsed or the western region escalated. Well, massive civil unrest is another issue that would have happened if Abacha didn't die. Massive civil unrest. A lot of people call Abacha a dictator. They see him as a lion you must be scared of. This was gradually creating a form of civil war. This was gradually generating into a form of silent protest. This was gradually generating into something what we call self-defense. Either you kill me or I kill you, it's none of my business. At that point, everybody was tired of Abacha. Everybody just wanted Abacha to go. But Abacha is someone everybody is afraid of. But at the same time, they still want him to go. So in situations like that, what do you think they will do? They will secretly start, not military this time around, I meant civilians. They will secretly start planning on how to eliminate him. They will secretly start planning on how to disrupt his regime. They will secretly start planning on how to overpower the military, because they knew that if Abacha leaves, it might be under military personnel that would take over, and they don't know his capability. So this time around, what was their plan? Their plan was they wanted all military personnel not to rule Nigeria any longer. Another thing that would have happened is that the international sanction would intensify. The US and the United Kingdom, the United States and the United Kingdom, they already imposed strict sanction on Nigeria. Nigeria was also suspended from the Commonwealth, and also foreign investments would drop drastically, because I felt the Europeans, the Westerners then didn't want to associate with the military system of government everywhere. That is why in our neighboring West African countries that are currently practicing military system of government, the European aid, the European Association is being cut off from them. While Nigeria could become a full-fledged state like North Korea or pre-apartheid South Africa, but also oil exports could be sanctioned. The citizens will suffer a rise in inflation, unemployment, and fuel scarcity. Here comes the reality after Abacha's death. You know what really happened after Abacha's death? After Abacha's death, I heard a lot of people jubilated, people were happy, people stayed party when Abacha died. So now let's talk. What was the reality after Abacha's death? General Sani Abacha took over power, and he promised that there will be transition in power. When I mean transition in power, the military system of government would stop existing and they would transit to the democratic system of government. Another thing that happened after Abacha's death was that all political prisoners were released. People that were detained as a politician were all released. A peaceful transfer to democracy was executed in the year 1999. This was after the death of General Sani Abacha. As a matter of fact, Nigeria re-entered the Commonwealth. And also gradual repatriation of Abacha's loot from the Swiss and other banks were being released. But Abacha's death made the military power to exit position, and currently we are experiencing the longest form of democracy that has ever existed in Nigeria. Abacha's death has also prevented civil war from happening in Nigeria. Abacha remained one of the most hated military leaders in Nigerian history. Although some people till today still praise his economic policy. Yes, they praise economic policy and they said it's actually the best. But nevertheless, a higher percentage of people still see him as the most hated military head of state that has ever ruled Nigeria. But come to think of it, Abacha's loot are still being returned till today. As at 2020 and 2022, Abacha's loot was still returned back to Nigeria. And yet, a lot of people still praise his economy. A lot of people still see him as a good person. It's fine. So what if Abacha didn't die? Would Nigeria be better, or would Nigeria be far worse? Please drop your comments in the comment section and let me know your opinion. Thank you very much, my name is Honorable Guluk. Stay tuned for my next video.